Next on the Quick Speed Shop, I'm putting a bed in the back of my van.
I'm a professional, don't try this at home.
Alright, welcome back to the Quick Speed Shop. I'm here from the back of my boogie van. Check it out. I got the bed sections laid in here, and I was just taking a nap. So we're going to talk about, now I'll show you what I got going on here. I'm not installing these right now, but I brought them out of the house to set them up in here just because I couldn't stand it anymore and I wanted to see what it was like. So this is the bed section that came with this van when I got the seats and everything else. I've got it folded out right now. Let me go ahead and unfold it. It's got these benches, and I've just got it, bam, look at that. It's got these little pins here to lock it in. It's got some oak sliders. It slides out. Not really bolted down here. We're just kind of spitballing it here for now, but check that out. When it's opened up, you got these benches, and you can hang out in here, get your party on. I got the other table that goes here in the center to match the front one in the front. And you got these benches, and when you're not using them, they also fold, the foam folds like this. They got the same green vinyl as the seats, so they can fold down. You can fold them both down and you're not using them, so they don't get dirty. And there will be paneling back in here with carpet on it. There'll be carpet down in here. But this is the main focus of the bedroom section. Back in here, these awesome benches. They're just laminate plywood with some Formica on the plywood. You know, when they bolt down to the floor. They've barely been used. They're a little dirty because I haven't cleaned them up. This one's got just a little bit of damage on the front piping. But this one's like brand new. I don't think anybody ever slept on them or sat on them really. And they're part of the setup, so it's pretty cool. I'm going to get some green shag carpet. It's going to go all in here on the floor, under the seats in the middle. I'm going to panel up this whole thing with shag all the way. There's going to be a bulkhead up in the front for like the bedroom. It'll be like neck down, so it'll just be a pathway. There'll be a curtain. So this will be completely private back here for when I'm like camping or going to the swap meets for hanging out back in here and sleeping and stuff like that. So I just wanted to set these in here because I haven't had them in the van before, and they work awesome. It looks awesome, and I'm really excited about it. So I still got to do some work in the back of the van here before I can get to this stage, but I just wanted to set them up and show you guys what it looks like. It's super cool. Bam, that's what I'm working on today. I got the back window out of the passenger side door. I got some rust issues here. These factory window seals, see down in here, they had metal teeth in there that helped hold the rubber onto the window, and they went on, obviously they would scratch the paint a little bit from the factory. And this door has some rust issues around here. It's actually missing a chunk of the seal of the door there. You see the seal is all damaged. And the right way to do this would be to take the door off and sandblast all this rust down in the pits. You know, cut in some new metal. This is going to be pretty thin here. Fill all the pits, a little bit of body filler, smooth this out, and repaint it. I'm not going to do it the right way because this van's a little bit of a beater, and I just don't have time. It's the middle of winter right now. I'm just going to slow it down. So what I have is some Eastwood products. I got rust encapsulator, and I got rust converter, and I'm going to be spraying the rust converter on the rust after I do a little bit of wire wheeling on it. Take some of that off, and treat the rust the best I can. And then once the rust encapsulator, once the rust converter dries, I'm going to mask this off and paint it with some rust encapsulator. Just try to slow this down. There's a few spots in the van I need to touch up. Like here, the paint's got a rusty spot here. I mean, it's super solid. There's absolutely no holes in the body at all. Oh, the mud flap's loose. It's got the paint knocked off the bottom here, what you would expect from years of stuff hitting the bottom. But it's you know, there's no issues like holes except for the ones I've already fixed around the body mounts where these things all rot. I got another spot here on the back of the door that was under the Ford emblem. It's actually rotted. You can see this hole's supposed to be round. It's actually rusted a little bit there. Same thing, I'm going to clean this up, mask it off. I'm going to put the rust converter on there, and then a little bit of rust encapsulator just to slow it down. You know, there's some rust here. If I was doing a full restoration of this van, it would, you know, panels would come off and it'd be all kinds of stuff. I don't have time to do a full resto. We're just doing the best we can up here. The reason this window's been out the whole time is there's some, well, you can see there, the teeth have peeled right out of the gasket, and there is a little bit of rust around the bottom of this channel here. So I've got to clean up the seal. I'll probably paint the whole thing here. Just it's not real bad yet. It's just starting to come out. But I'm gonna peel the steel. Oh, the seal teeth are actually gone out of there. But I'm gonna do the same thing here. Just got a little bit on the inside. Clean this up and seal it up. That's pretty much all the rust in there. This door is the worst for some reason. There's rot on the inside of the door. It's actually starting to bubble down here just a little bit. The bottom of the door has got some holes in it and stuff. I don't know why, just the driver's side door rotted on the bottom, but it'll, this thing's not going to get driven in the winter. It didn't really get driven in the winter the whole time the original owner had it. So if I slow this down and treat it, it's going to be not the best, but it's going to slow it down remarkably. So that's what I'm going to do with it now. And later on, if I ever do like a full paint job on this van, I can take the glass out like this. I can sandblast all this, replace the bottom half of the driver's door, and touch all these spots up. So I'm just trying to slow them down the best I can for now, just while I got it in here. So I'm going to hit this with a wire wheel on the drill, clean this up, and then spray the converter and the encapsulator on it. Well, this went from bad to worse. Look at here on the door. Got a hole here where the worst part was. Luckily, it looks like the gasket will pretty much cover it up for now. You know, it's obviously not the best answer, but whatever. I'm going to have to deal with it. There's drains in the bottom of the door, so any water that runs down there for now will just drain out the bottom of the door. I'm going to try to get a new gasket for this door here, but yeah, I took the wire wheel and the drill, like I said, and I cleaned this up. You can see it's shiny here, knocked the oranginess off it. I'm going to take the sander and sand into the paint just a little bit here. Get some sandpaper or something and feather this out a little bit, and then mask this off and spray the encapsulator and the converter on it, and just do all that. I cleaned up the metal the best I can. I sanded, or use the little where is it? Use a little angle grinder with some grit on there. I ground around here. This is just be really rough. You'll see it obviously on the outside of the van when it's done, but it's just like I said, trying to slow the rust down. So I got the Eastwood rust converter here. I'm going to go ahead and spray this on lightly on the rust, and it'll turn black here when it converts the rust. And I'll let this dry overnight, and then I'll use the rust encapsulator on here. You only want to spray it on the actual rusty metal, not on the paint and stuff, because it won't do anything for the paint. So I'm going to just dust a little. You don't want to put it on too heavy. I'm just going to dust a little on the rusted area. And that'll sit there and it'll turn this black, and it'll make like a coating, supposedly turn the rust like inert. So doesn't take much there. That's all I need to do there. Got a little spot here on the wheel well. I'm just going to go ahead and hit that. Let that go. And then I just got to do the other window channel on the other side for the pop-out window on the driver's side. But you get the idea. I just put it on lightly. I'll let it dry overnight, like 24 hours, and then I'll hit it with the rust encapsulator, which is black, and then I'll paint that black. And usually you want to top coat the encapsulator because it will fade and stuff. It's not real UV stable, so I'll probably just the silver paint. I got some silver paint that I used to paint the valance under the grill. The can is damaged, it's puking out, but I might get it to puke out into a can and take a little brush, and I'll brush touch this and just kind of paint it up so it's not as visible, and I'll do that too. But this first step of the process here is getting the converter on there. Okay, it's next day, and my you can see this has turned black there. The rust converter has turned the rust black. So now it's time for the rust encapsulator, also by Eastwood. And I'm going to spray it right on here and just kind of fog it on. I'm going to put on 2 coats, get it coated up nice. So I got a good coat on here. I'll let this tack up. I think it says like 20 minutes or so. Let's see here. Yeah, it dries to touch 20 minutes, so I'll let it dry and I'll put another coat on it, and then this thing will be encapsulated good and hopefully enough to slow this rust down significantly, where, you know, eventually if I want to restore this thing and paint it the whole way, I'll be able to repair this the correct way. But for now, it's going to buy me some time so I can be out in the street cruising in the van and not have the rust get significantly worse. So that's what we're going to do. Just going to try to slow her down the best we can. Alright, I waited overnight for the rust converter to dry, or rust encapsulator to dry, I should say. And I've top coated this with some color match paint. If you saw me do the video where I did the grill valance a couple of videos ago, I had bought this paint online. It's color matched the van. It's the right color. The van is super faded, so it's not real perfect, but I had a problem with the can where it like blew out the nozzle. There was something wrong with it, so it wasted most of my paint, which I paid $54 for. I'm still kind of upset about it, but anyways, I was able to get enough to come out of the can. I was able to dust some onto here. I've got some clear coat because it's base clear, so I'm going to just dust some clear on here. I did the spot on the door and stuff, and I did a little spot on the wheel well. It's not going to match perfect. You'll still see it, but it's going to be better than black. It'll be somewhat close to the original gray, and that's all I can do for now. Just trying to, like I said, just trying to maintain this thing the best I can. You can see over here on this, here, if you see how faded this is and how shiny this is, this van had some damage. It had been backed into something and dented this up, and they fixed it, and they masked it off and painted it at the body line. You know, who knows when that happened, but you can see just how faded the original paint, you know, see it's burned right through here almost to the primer, and then you can see here the shine of the clear coat where they fixed this one section. So if the van was rubbed out, it might kind of get shiny, but really this paint is pretty bad on this thing. It needs to be at the minimum sanded with like 400 or 600 something, the whole thing. Just have the whole van shot with clear and make it shiny, but you wouldn't get rid of any of the spots like this and just kind of maintain it. Or you know, it needs an entire paint job, and then I would do the correct work on here. But for now, I'm just going to be touching it up with this rattle can action, and then I'm going to try to rub this out with a real light compound in the springtime. Just kind of bring this back, get a little bit more shinier, because it's pretty rough, pretty chalky. Over here on the window, the black's pretty much going to be hidden, so I'm just going to peel the tape off, and you might see a little bit of the black under the rubber once I put the window rubber back down, but it's good enough for what we're doing here. The way this might not be the way that some people do things, like I said earlier when I was fixing the doors, but I don't have a lot of money to spend on all these vehicles, and I enjoy driving them. And once a vehicle gets too shiny and too nice, like fully restored, like say you spent, you know, $20,000 doing a vehicle, I don't really like cars like that. They're too much of a headache to maintain. You can't take them anywhere and just leave them. Like, I drive my stuff every day for 9 months out of the year. Just I take it and park it at work. You know, if things get banged up, get scratched. You know, this van's going to sit out in the weather, so I just, you know, just don't boil me in the comments and say, oh, that's not the way you do it. Well, you know, I'd rather have a whole bunch of cars that were drivable and usable than have one show car that you look at, you know, through the window and it never goes anywhere. That's why I like beater stuff. You can get in it and drive it and have fun. So that's what this van is. It's gonna be kind of a cool, kind of like a Survivor patina-ish beater van, which it pretty much is. You know, it's been sitting outside its whole life, and I'm just throwing it together. Something like a kid would have had in the 70s. You know, would have bought a used van, done the best they could with the money they had to throw like some carpet and stuff in it, and then go have fun. And that's how it was. So I'm pretty much doing it like they did back then. You know, you might have your friend airbrush a bunch of graphics on it, but whatever. So one thing I am going to do, I've got some silicone, not like RTV, but just like silicone. I'm going to put silicone on this edge up inside the rubber. I peeled all the metal out, all that metal clip that was ripping here. I peeled it out, so I'm going to put a little bit of silicone in the edge of the rubber just to help moisture not get up under here, and it'll like sit in these pits, and it should help slow the rust down and keep the moisture out of it. So I'm going to do that for now. if you're painting this van, you'd have to get the silicone out because it'd be a pain to paint it. But like I said, I'm not doing that now. I don't even remember where I got this. I think it's for electrical components and stuff, but I've got a couple tubes of it that I came across somewhere, and it's pretty much just clear silicone. So I'm just gonna wipe a little bit of it on the rust pits themselves, and then the rubber will go right down over this. It won't hurt the rubber, and it'll protect this metal, keep moisture out, like I said, and pretty much protect this area that had just a little bit of rust going on it. Seems like the right thing to do. Even if it's not right, I'm doing it anyways. Alright, now we'll just go ahead and stick this rubber right back on here. Oh, come back here. Like that. Oops. Made a mistake of buying cheap masking tape in a bind, and stuff is a nightmare to get back off. Here we go. Now that silicone will keep that moisture out of there, keep those pits sealed up nice, away from corrosion. The rubber gasket is back installed. All these hinged windows, they just kind of flip them up and remove them. I gotta remember how they did this. There we go. Don't drop it. There we go. Your stainless steel hinges. This has got the plastic grabbers on the inside that hold it. But there we go. Oh, there we go. That's good. This is a factory Ford flip out windows. Some were sealed just permanent, and then this has got the accessory flip out windows here, and then the slider door, and then the back doors. They would have been fixed, like in a cargo van, they would have been fixed glass, but this has got since the passenger van's got the flip out windows. Okay, the paint's dry, the clear is dry. As you can probably see here, it's obviously not anywhere near close to matching because this is so faded and stuff. At least it's got gray on it here. When I put the gasket on it, you're only going to see a little bit of it. It's better than a big rusty stain and stuff on the door. So I'm going to I rubbed a little bit of wax on here, just trying to shine this up a little bit. I'm going to put the silicone on here with the rubber on this side. This rubber is a little bit damaged in the corner, but I am having a hard time trying to find these replacement gaskets. They make ones for the fixed window, but I can't find the one for the non-fixed window. So I'm just going to put it back here for now, and then maybe later when I can find one, I can change it out. I also did the spot down here in the door. The original emblem was larger. It was all damaged and falling apart, so I got this grill emblem out of like an 80s truck, and it's going to cover up most of the area. I'm going to take and try to rub some of this dirt out of the paint here and make that disappear. But I used a two-sided 3M tape, and I'll stick this Ford emblem on here. But as you can see, you'll see part of this, but it's not, it's better than a big rusty stain. So this Ford emblem will hide a lot of it. Then I took the bed back out here, the benches. I'm going to weld up my holes in the floor now. Just going to trim these back and weld the patches in, and then this thing will be ready to get the Herculiner truck bed liner material. I'll scuff all this and we'll Herculiner all this. We'll do another video on that separately. But once I get these holes welded up, all the sheet metal work will be done. Then I can put the gas tank back in with a new fuel pump and get this thing ready to run after we build the exhaust system and all that. So that's what I worked on this time. Getting started on the back of the van. I want to get this thing done before the end of winter so I can get it out of here. I got another project I want to work on, but we're going to get the interior mocked up and roughed in. I've got the carpet. Just came in. I ordered some shag carpet for here. We'll check that out in a future video. Make some wall panels out of plywood, carpet them. get this thing all done up, get the full interior in, make some wooden panels for here with carpet on it, get this thing dialed in, and we'll be ready for cruising in the springtime. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again right here working on the boogie van at the Quick Speed Shop.